I think it's working again. Hello all. Good evening. Guten Abend. Everything. Ah. Welcome to another round of Tier 5. Let me see. Mike wants. Mike has a quali ban, I think. Yeah, sure. Just don't set a time. So welcome all to round 5. Like I said, we're in Hungary. Yes, there is a stream. I was just setting it up. So, tonight we are racing at the Hungary ring, and I hope it will provide us with some action. First of all, some announcements. Some of you already know, but unfortunately I won't be able to finish the season here as a commentator. And that's just because I get a surgery on the 6th or the 7th of June. So yeah, the 6th is the Sunday, but most likely it's on the Monday. It's like early on the Monday, so I have to go to bed early and everything else. And next week I can't because of other reasons. So the problem is a little bit they're gonna relocate my jaw in that surgery, and I am literally not allowed to intensively talk for 3-4 weeks, which is very difficult for me. That's pain. So yeah, it is not realistic to see me commentating then. So unfortunately, I'm gonna hand over after this race, for this season at least, of Tier 5, just the commentary. Also for the racing, in any means. And but yeah, racing I can come back earlier, because that's just stuff I do with my hands. And yeah, but yeah, if I'm not allowed to talk, technically, of course I should be able to come and communicate with. Yeah, I go back to my parents for some weeks. Should be able to communicate to him, to them, to at least say that I'm hungry or whatever. But even eating is gonna be a massive problem. So yeah, it's not gonna be there. But still, Alupalu is gonna take over commentary from next week onwards. He was already commentator last time around. Oh, I have company from Mike during quali. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's like the recovery of the thing is 6 weeks, but they expect it to go a little bit better sooner, or how you say that? To technically, it's just I'm a young person. The 6 weeks of recovery is just for an average adult, and they are expecting me to recover faster. So yeah, but still, it will be a pain in the ass, because my jaw had they're gonna set it in some sort of frame. So yeah, it's tough. It's complicated. But yeah, it's the last dentist kind of acty thingy I have to do. I already had a surgery 2 years ago, so that was like part 1, and now they're ready for part 2. So So just everyone knows, I will post something in the Tier 5 announcements somewhat during the week. Maybe if Alupalu likes it, he just continues with the Tier 5 stream. I'm completely open to let him do that. I think he's a very good replacement. So yeah, it's a little bit strange because normally I've said like stuff in like the penultimate round that I wouldn't be here for like the last round, and now we're in round 5 of 12, and I already have to say this my last race as commentator of the season. I think maybe I can come back for a surprise in Brazil because that's 4 weeks afterwards. No, more than 4 weeks, but yeah. We have to see how that goes. I also will be less active anyway since the 7th of June, so but anyway, we're focused back on the race because I hope to see a banger last time around here. Let's bring you the standings. We are after 4 rounds. Apparently, there's no constructors updated after France. Okay. But I don't think it's a surprise that Williams is leading in the constructors. Since Denja's leading the championship after his win in France, he's now leading with 61 and he's 4 points ahead of Fontenau, who is now in second. He finished third. Apex was also a big threat in the championship. I think he was even leading, but he retired in France and is now third with 55. So I think our placing in Tier 5 was not too bad. There was a lot of discussion sometimes about some placements, but yeah, people just need to shut the fuck up and just acknowledge that it's impossible to do it perfectly anytime and every time. And I admit that Davidek in Tier 2 was not a good idea. But yeah, we have to see proven evidence for that on track. We can't just say before the first race, if we make that call, that we're, like promoting him up without even seeing him actually being quicker on track. Time trial times doesn't say anything, or not everything at least. First out is Reaper or Nichols? Reaper. So yeah, I think it's good here for I think we have some new drivers, or at least drivers returning after a long period of absence. I think Kamich in the Merc is a reserve. I think Pervy Sage is just a debutant at all, and I haven't seen Catch in a while in races I've commentated. It's so good to see him back. Let's go on board with Reaper on medium tires for his first lap. And during that first lap I will go back to the standings. I have already discussed the top 3 with you. They're very close, 6 points between those 3 guys, both Williams drivers and Apex for Alfa Romeo. After that it's Slibby, who was the forever number 4, but he didn't finish 4th, so I'm very, very shocked in that performance by him. He should have done better. 4 positions better to be exact. He finished 8th and is now still 4th in the standings, so at least he's doing that well. He's only 1 point ahead of Robin, who wasn't there in France, but had a great win in Bahrain, while we have yellows in the second sector, not for Reaper luckily. 6th is Zap in the standings with 35, then Dynamo with 26, Goey with 20, Sabetti with 18, since this is his first race, back in Tier 5, and he immediately finished 2nd, so yeah. Fine, I'd love to see him back, but yeah, maybe the difference is kind of big between tiers. He's already in 9th, and Reaper, which we are on board with, is in 10th in the standings, and he's doing a 16.9, and I think Fontenot was literally in his gearbox for that lap, and put in a lap time that was 9/10 quicker. Slimmy is starting a lap. I think Touch is also starting a lap. Denja is spinning around after clipping the curb on a point. Something I saw that and he was like, "What are you doing, mate?" Touch is already in, so I think Mike is also coming in. Steven is maybe on a lap. Yeah, he's in a good row as well. And he's crossing the line in third, 72, but there are not many times being set, to be honest. I don't know what everyone is doing, but yeah. There are still yellow. There is a big train coming up into the third sector now. And Denja is waiting, but I don't know where he's waiting for, because he has the gap now. Let's follow him. He's going to do another one. Only 6 drivers have set a time so far. Dry most of the race, end of the race rain. Oh, I feel for that. That is not invalid. And Slimmy went for the fastest time with a 15.7 on mediums. So, okay. So interesting to see Slimmy being 3 times quicker than Fontana, although being on a harder tire, but I think, and okay. Then they avoided being invalid by just extending the track extremely long. Is that some kind of tactic? I don't think this is some kind of tactic. He's locking up all the time, but is it normal that you can, like, if you go off track, just extend the track so much that it's still not invalid? No, it's not really gaining anything from it, so maybe the game picked up that. Or something similar. Oh yes, but Mike, I already have the map. I can see it. Thanks, Bill. But people are just driving invalid laps, so I don't have anything about it. Jubilate is starting one, Savetti is on an out lap. I think Jubilate is starting one. Anyway. Okay. Let's see what Nichols can do. He still has to set a lap, but he's going wide. So Slimmy still falls for 15.7, Fontana 16.0, and the gaps are still somewhat significant. You can easily put your car in between them, and Nichols didn't have the best turning point into that corner, and he has already run out of ERS. Gonna finish the lap anyway. In P9 with an 89. Kamich is going to start. Zap 2. So Malechki, purple second sector. And I think he's followed by one of, or at least both houses, who are also both on a lap. Oh! Okay, that didn't went well. Says enough that he can still set an 18 flat while crashing into the final corner. So that's he going in, okay. That would have been a great time. I really want to know the sector time, because that went completely wrong out of the final corner. So Apex is coming through the line, he's also on the mediums. So far only Slimmy and Reaper went for that strategy call, and he is going fastest with a 15.6. And this new, I would just call him Sage, okay? So he's starting his lap, and something went wrong for SJ there. Let's follow Kabic into the final corner. He wants to improve on his 21.8. I think that's more of a banker lap, and he is going quicker, and quickest of all, with a 15.4 on the softs though. So he's showing the Berg class, the thing you need to show when you're in the Merc. Maletsky's still out, but I think he will pit, yeah. Steven is going to start a lap, and there is a little bit of a traffic jam here. The Renaults are very close together. And SG is going wide, and Zap is coming alongside. This was a timed run of Zap, so I don't know if he's like hindered by his teammate over there, but now he's backing up, but he still did a 16.3 on medium, so that's kind of okay. And Sage went to 16.5 on soft. Aero isn't here to serve his quality. No, then of course it's for the next race. So just keep an eye out for that bike, because like I said, I won't be, well, I still will be kind of active in the upcoming 2 weeks, but after that you have to really remind me of stuff in the DMs if I have to do something for you. That's almost a spin, yeah. You almost went for it. So Steven also with a purple second sector, but everyone can do that. So, yeah. You're not even starting last so far, Mike, because Patch is just doing outlaps and coming in every time. Steven goes 5th with a 16.1. And I think now SJ, he went across the line, right? Yeah. No, that's Fontano, I think. That's Fontano in the final sector. He is out of ERS even before the final corner. He is now on another run of soft and goes 15.6, but like very close to the time of Apex. Is there going to be a response from his teammate? What did you see that is allowed? I'm confused. Tetja goes not really that much quicker. This is kind of interesting for the championship leader. I don't know if he really nailed that lap, but he is an 8. 1.5 seconds off pole. And is going off track. And doing all kinds of stuff. Can just everyone set a lap? Come on, Sabetti. One improvement for Nichols. No, it's also not coming for him. So, Tom. Oh, that's not a great start of the lap. Let's catch up. He's already slowing down. I hope he can nail the lap to at least set 1. But I'm sure he will. He's on track, so. There was some changing. I think Jublade went up. And we also have a time to run here by Maletsky. Another one. He's still in the 18. Can he go to the 17th? He could go to the 15th. He also goes 4. He does it the same way as Kavic. Do it a little bit of a kind of a banker lap, and then put it in everything, and he's 16 thousandths quicker than Kavic. And that's impressive. So. Hello Ryan, welcome. We're just watching and witnessing Tej, who is trying to start a lap, but he's not going it for it now. Let me just say that. So let's go to the other Mercman at the other end of the front. Of the field, the other end of the field. And he is doing an incredible lap, going into the 14th, 14.9. I think that was my quali lap also. However, I did that on a range setup, or a hybrid setup, you can call it. Impressive lap, well done. Yeah. Who was on a lap? Not many people, to be honest. Keta. People waiting for the final run, I think. Reaper though is already on track, still on the mediums. He only needs to improve a 10 to be in the top 10 on mediums. It's doable. Apex Slibby show. He is approaching a Ferrari, I think. Must be Steven in this outlap. If this is a purple sector, well, I won't be surprised. I've already seen two guys jumping from P14, 15 to pole. Provisional. So I won't be surprised. He is indeed going into the top 10, but just. Not really just, but position-wise, it's just. Denja already invalidated. There are yellow flags here. Oh, that's because he's letting... Oh. That's retiring on track. That's not really clever to do when you are a host. Just saying. That's unfortunate for him, that like 2 athletes saw that. That's very unfortunate. Anyway. I think I have to switch to the other Ferrari. Steven. Kavich still on the pole. Fontenau has gone to P2 with a 15.1. Followed by Maletsky. And yeah, but he set that time on the softs, right? So it looks like that he has his time on the mediums. But oh, Zap goes third. Very good. I'm still rooting for him because I predicted him as champion, so he needs to perform well to like restore my credibility. No pressure, no pressure. Guys, we are like 40 seconds to the checkered flag, and why is half of the field in or retired? And there is a Merc. That's not that Merc. Oh, that's just that. Oh, come on, Tom. Everyone is in. That should just give him Mike a free position. Those guys already set their lap, so Tublade has been validated. Noob is on a lap. And Nichols has been validated. But he is starting now, okay. And Kavic is also still doing it, so... Well, the point is a little bit, normally when like the checkered flag is out, then you still have some people to witness. But now we've got first on track Zap, who is on his outlap, because he went to that sensational P3. So we're literally watching 3 guys on a hot lap. And first is Noof, who is now in 12th. And is almost losing it out of the penultimate corner, so I think he can say goodbye to an improvement. and that's indeed true. And then we've got Nichols and Kabich, and Nichols already invalidated, so it's not going to be it for him. He's going out of the way for Kabich, who also invalidated, so that's it. So, but the Merkman is on the pole, 2 tenths quicker than Fontano. Zap in third, and our championship leader is 11th. But maybe he wants to be 11th. I also tried to go for P11, to be honest. Yeah, it didn't work well. I finished 11th out of 11 runners on the lead lap. Is that good? But Apex and Slibby and Reaper literally also did a similar thing, because they can even start on the mediums. Yeah, much farther up to the front. Especially for Apex and Slibby, this is a very good result for them. 5th and 6th on mediums. That's reminding me from my PSGL times that I really tried to qualify in the top 6 on mediums. So, here we are for formation lap. Oh, they're in interview lounge. I can use this as content. Yeah, a little bit too late. They asked, what's the worst F1 livery of all time? An old Arrows. Well, must be a really old Arrows, and because normally Arrows is BR late 90s born red and white. I can remember the BAR partly white and wet, partly blue and yellow. That was a stinker of a car. The 1987 Aero, so they know what they're talking about. The Haas of 2019. The 2005 Jaguar was special livery for one, because the one with the diamond in front. Yeah, the diamond got lost and nobody has found it. They say, which is absolutely bullshit. Somebody found it and thought, yeah, I'm gonna be rich. So typical that car just crashed with the nose forward into the barrier where there was a diamond in the nose. That's convenient. But okay, let's focus on race now. Oh, very good, Jubilate. First time starting in the top 10. Great to hear. Let's see tires. Everyone outside of the top 10, except for Savetti, on mediums, and Denja or Louvre are even on the harder tire. And 5 red lights, and away we go. And I think Fontano had a good start, especially compared to Kabich. Kabich is getting swallowed by the field. I have to reassess the front of the field now. He really had a very, very awful start. And so Fontano into the lead, followed by Zap. And I think Kamich behind it. No, that's an Alpha Tauri. So Malechki, I think. My leaderboard is fucked up again. They want to do the two-stop strategy. You sure, man? Well, everyone is gone and dusted, and it's all going nice and steady and well. And there are some bits and pieces flying a little bit. There are also some battling here and reproduce. And Slimmy had an awful start, and there is a VSC because like, do you still have your front wing? Yes, okay. He had some moment with Sabetti, maybe? We could at least... Oh, okay. I drive through for Baletsky speeding, and Sabetti is, well, bursting through that and coming into the pits because he has damage. And Maletsky also immediately comes in for the fixing of his front wing. Okay, that's ripped because he has to pit again. Immediately at the front. Yeah, of course I missed this. This is not even real. Why is Kamich? He is not in the lead. Okay. These turns, thank you. So if we look at the where can I find it? So who did like the best impression? Well, Baletsky not. He had to pit because of damage. Biggest gainer, Dewblade 5 up. He was already in the top 10. He's now even in P5. And Tetch is up to 13th. And biggest loser, only Maletsky really. A lot of guys want something, but also a pole start from Kamich, you can say. And there is a problem for Nichols in the second sector. He dropped way back, giving Tetch another position. Which is very good to see. So we are up into lap 3 and Fontenot is leading by 1.6 seconds over Zap. Kamich and Apex are hanging on and trying to beat the DRS range. Reaper going in already speeding, and it's a very good scenario already for Apex since he's on the medium tires and he's already been able to get along with these guys. There's a little bit of a gap to Dewblade and Sage, and also a little bit of gap to Slimmy, who didn't have the best start, I think. But he recovered and is now back ahead of Steven. And oh, Apex almost lost it over there in the tricky turn 5, and he now lost the connection to Kamich. He's now 1.7 behind even. We're slightly further behind him. Of course, Dewblade catched up a little bit. He's now under pressure by Sage. But the question is, where can you overtake on this one? So, Maletsky didn't pit a second lap in a row, so I think he is still going to do that. So yeah, please give me my overall forward. Well, the overspeed of Apex is insane. He's already in a second. Kamich is going for the dive on Zap into turn 1. And it's successful, I think. Maybe Zap can return the favor, but he is not being able to do it. So Kamich is recovering from his poor start. Back up to P2, 1.8 close to Thunter now. And this is also bringing Apex back in the battle, and there is already a train forming for P5. The train of Dewblade. It was Sage close to him, and now it's also Slimmy and Steven. And it's very interesting to see, that's an extension by Slimmy by the way, to see if Racing Point is going to use some team tactics over here. Although, yeah, Slimmy is kind of on the better strategy. He's already on the medium tire. So for the long run, he is really trying to pass Sage on points of the track where you're not really expecting it. So to have some kind of agreement, because this is costing them time. You see Jublade driving away because of it. There is Slivy coming alongside, putting a wheel on the grass. And he's now still on the outside, and Sage is not giving him any room. And here, Steven can maybe benefit from the double toe. But he's playing it safe, I wanted to say. That was not really safe. Sage is already back on the inside. It is a very fair battle here. And eventually it ends in Steven now being in the sandwich. Fontana already a penalty. That's something like I would do. Slippy also with his foot. Oh yeah, he's clipping it. He's clipping the white curb, Steven, and he's now lost touch with Slippy. But I think Sage did a similar thing, and he is now under big pressure by Denja, who catched up on his hard tires. That must have damage. It can't be that slow. He's driving just alongside in the second. He has damage, yeah. Okay. And a lot. So why doesn't he pit? Or did this happen like in straight towards turn 1? There's yellows, and that's Mike. And now he had damage. While Apex already going for the fastest lap. Whoa. My voice, thank you. 19.3, Sage is in. Slibby is trying to move here on Jublade, who's still on the inside, wants to undercut him, was held up a little bit, but there is the massive exit speed for the racing point, and Slibby already doing the lead strategy well, is up into P5, on his way to his favorite position. Battle for the lead is intensifying. And suddenly Apex is ahead of Kabich. And I'm kinda sure that he was just ghosted. So, a little bit of lag of his side maybe. Okay. There was something with Patch, I am only seeing it now. Is he like racing? He is in the car. He must be. Oh! SJ, a little bit of a moment. I think he's back just in his car. The car's not ghosted, so... Yeah, he's going way too wide to be in an AI. This man. Reaper, let's see how you can pass Jublade. He's on intermediate tires. That's just a joke. Oh, this is a joke. Oh god. Why? Dude. Why? It's not even raining. Oh my god. It's even giving yellows, but not for Jublade, who's messing up. Maletsky is messing up more on dry tires. Hilarious. So, okay, back to the front where Zap is making his stop, going for hard tires. And where Apex is already in the lead on the medium tires. I think the softs are dropping off. And let's see where Zap is returning on track, which would be in P9. I think he can manage that in front of Nichols. Steven going wide, getting a warning and an initial definitive warning. But he's now getting chased by Is that guy even racing? No. Denja is just lagged out. And still he's catching Steven. How high is the AI? Let's fix this for him. That's not really nice to have the host lagging out. He's now getting passed by Tej. But Steven en Fontenau komen in. And Fontenau is away. So Apex in the lead with Slimmy, and then we have Tej in P3. Massive stuff. Just benefiting from the fact that everyone is pitting and he can continue on mediums and by just staying on track and not making mistakes. Denja's back now. So he can now attack Tej for P3. He lost that position because he was not in his car at the moment. But yeah, it looks like that Apex is way ahead of everyone. Way ahead. And Tej is now coming up to lap Mike. And I think also Jubilet is already a lap down. There's Mike, going slowly. Slow and steady, slow and steady. And can I? Can I have my gaps back for the top 3, please? Oh, big shit show here after. Fontenau's trying to pass SJ around the outside here. And he is, well, SJ is getting crashed out. That was a very weird angle I had of that. Very luckily, to be honest. But yeah, it looked like Fontenau tagged him a little bit. But it wasn't really that I could see. There's a safety car, so if SJ is smart, he's just continuing, and safety car is just behind him. So this is saving some guys. Fontenau just went to the softs. People with the mediums get out. Apex had a 50-second lead. There is damage though, a lot. All front wing is missing for SJ. Didn't saw that very good, but I was on board with SJ and Mike. If he can't drive a quali, he's immediately not suited for anything on this track. Just stick in the line, because just do your stuff and go to the pits, because they are not allowed to overtake you. Yeah, this is going to be ridiculous. Apex is going to hold on the lead. He's even going to softs. Or is he gonna lose it? Yeah, but just. And I think there's rain in the air. Also, Tej is coming in. That's also a very good call from him. So Denja, who started on the hards, is now up to P3, followed by Fontenau, who is on brand new softs. Then Noof, who's doing the same as Denja. Then Zap, who already pitted for the hard. He was one of the first soft runners to pit and is now in P6. Kamich pitted slightly earlier but has been called out because he really lost track position. He is now in 7th. Then we've got Sadetti in 8th. He pitted way back and had a major gap to come back to catch up, but yeah, he did it. And Tej has returned to P9 after his stop, and Steven is now 10th. He just went to the hards. No, I see, Mike. Luckily, Mike can just show his better racing in Sprint League next Tuesday in his favorite Merc. Last car on the lead lap is Jublade. He benefited from the fact that Apex went into the pits, and that's what saved him. So literally everyone is back, but yeah, Jublade has a lot of track to go before it's even close to the tail. And Mike is in the queue, I think. Oh, he is like, okay, he's almost a lap down for everyone. Okay. Yeah, it's not the best to listen to me if you're driving. I most of the time jinx people, so. So it's getting dark, guys, and everyone is on different tires. It's mad. There are 4 guys on, or 5 if you count Mike. Sorry, I have to count Mike. 5 guys on new softs. There are some guys on old hards or mediums. There are some guys on new hards, and also some guys on new mediums, but not a lot. It's funny. There are only 4 drivers on track on medium tires, so. Only Sage has to catch up. And Reaper also didn't have the best time. He has dropped back to P11 due to some stuff. And are there raindrops falling? Do I see that correctly? That looks like rain, yeah. That looks like rain. That's way sooner than we predicted it, or was predicted by Mike. Oh, this is going to be shit. We have no retirement. Safety car in this lap. Here we go. And yeah, a lot of guys with penalties, to be honest. So can Slimmy hold off Apex? Slimmy wants to stretch this to the rain. Everyone wants to stretch this stint to the rain. But I think for Slimmy it's the most difficult because he is on the oldest mediums. And Denja is already coming in. What's he doing what we don't know? I just want to know what he's doing. I don't care, to be honest, for what the front of the field is showing us. He is going for it. He's going for it. Okay, Apex has passed Slimmy. He went immediately for it. Like out of a good position, to be honest. A position with potential. And now Fontano is going to try and pass Slimmy around the outside over here. Alonso did it once on someone in Hungary when it also was raining. And there's already a gap of 2 seconds behind because Nuve is holding up people. Sabetti and Kamich side by side through the chicane. And that's... Oh god. That's... Okay. Because of that, Tetch could pass him. Don't think that was intentional. But Tetch is also on brand new soft and he is now pressuring Sabetti. Sabetti going very defensive already. These two have a path, ladies and gentlemen. These two have a path. Denja is 6.4, 6.5, 6.6. It's not really ready. It's a big ass train here, man. And Sabetti is going for it on Zap. Interested, Sabetti is. And behind us there's also something wide. I hope they can just leave it alone. And Ted goes for it. Zap is braking way earlier, and he's going for the double overtake. He has Sabetti now on his left, who is surely going to stay there into the next corner. But that's a very good move by Tej, and we have an incredible mixture of cars here juggling for position all over the place. I think Kamich also jumped Zap already. I think Maletsky went past Steven. And now Tej has the free... Oh no, he's not really having the free space because Nuve is still maintaining position when the rain is falling and Zap is not having a great time here. Now getting passed by Maletsky, going on the grass, he's Steven and Reaper pass him. And maybe for him it's a good call to go to Intus. since he has lost so many positions in a short space of time. So continuing here, there are now, it's a little bit of a shift now in the group. It's raining harder and harder, and there is a move tried to be made by Steven. He's spun because he's on the dirt there, damaging his wing. He tried to pass Maletsky, I think, over there, and there are pit stops by Zap, by Maletsky. Steven is decided to just retire. Denja is still on intermediate, and I think he's catching up now. The guys who are pitting now are going for the intermediate. Noof, who already of course had to stop because he was on a older spin. And there is, I think, a spin by SJ, yes. It's getting wetter and wetter, and he is losing out position there even to the first Inter guy here on track. That's Noof. He went for brand new Inters, and literally it threw the field apart. There's only Kamich who's still close to Sabetti, and Tetchka now close to get to Sliddy for P3, but it's interesting to see what this man can do. Can he catch up to Nichols in front of him? Gap is 2.6. Denja, yeah, well, jumped everyone except for Noof, and SJ is now spun again, and he has to return to the pits very quickly. Apex is going for it. He must go for the intermediate. I think DRS is disabled. It's now the ultimate strategy. Just some guys could make the call earlier. Here is the pit from Apex. Everyone's coming in. He's even out before Fontano is passing him. So it's interesting where Noof is on track. He is still far in the third sector. It's a dominant display here by Apex after a very misfortunate race last time around. So everyone is in the pit. Everyone is in the pit. And it's like a question where Noof is gonna return. Can Taj hold on to P3? Noof is coming here. Sees Taj in front of him. And he is done it. He has done it. He has stayed at track position. And it's now getting wetter and wetter, and Sabetti is trying to go for it on slightly warmer older or colder intermediates, but he's still making the move stick on Noof Squid and up into P4, and he's also doing very well. And also Apex and Fonter now, they are now continued. They had some kind of an advantage on some other driver, because Slibby dropped back to P6. Denja is now in 7th, and this is getting a whole lot more spicier with a whole battle. It's interesting to see if Sabetti can try to catch up and pass Taj, who is on a brilliant strategy so far from last place, and Noof is letting Slibby by. Not really feeling comfortable maybe in this weather. He has a brilliant call. He did a brilliant call, so he can really score some points if he can press on. Further behind, Maletsky is approaching on Denja, who should be on warm Inters. He already has been driven on those tires for 2 laps, but even though Maletsky is pressuring him, maybe he has a better setup for this weather condition. And he's not being able to do it over here. Sector 3 yellow, Nichols DNF over there, and I'm just missing it over here because apparently the exit of Maletsky was kind of good, and there is another safety car, and it's causing Denja damage on Maletsky, who I think braked to get close to his delta. But yeah, I'm afraid this goes into the steward report, and I'm afraid that I have to see better footage of it. But yeah, normally if you have to affirm yourself to a delta, you have to pay attention if someone else right in front of you is not doing or is doing the same. But for Denja, luckily there is a safety car, but yeah, there is not really a beneficial factor from pitting now. It's just bringing Apex and Fontenot back to, like, and there is a drive-through for Thatch. That's ruining his race. Unfortunately, oh, Jesus. He can't even serve it. It's safety car, right? I think he knows. I hope he knows. Yeah, because otherwise it wouldn't be that much of a problem, but now it is, to be honest, and I don't know. Yeah, there are some penalties from 3 seconds. There are Maletsky and Denja who collided with each other. Denja is now pitting. Maybe he's already oh no, he can't serve, I think. Can he serve his penalty? That's interesting to see. It's raining steadily. Yeah, he's serving it. Coming from the front wing. Going for a ramp. Set of the wets. Okay. A very unfortunate race for Denja, who is closing the championship battle. So trying to make the wets work, but it's not that really that wet. Yeah, he to be honest, he has the time now to like get some heat into this tire and get them up to temperature before the restart, because he had a whole gap of 16 seconds and even more to catch up. I wouldn't be that close to another car. SJ is in the queue, so we'll be waiting for Denja, who is nice camera view. Okay. Okay. So for what it's worth, it's looking very good in the standings for Fontenot and for Apex. Also a little bit for Slimmy, because this is the off day for Denja. He already had one in Britain. This is the chance he has been waiting for. Of course, I didn't mention Robin is of course the tier 4 after his win in Bahrain, so he's not really coming back. So that 5th position is free property for Zab. For Dynamo, but Dynamo isn't here. Gobi is also not here, so Sabetti in his second race can already jump up to maybe a top 6 position in this championship. Denja is not catching up to like the safety car queue. That's the weird thing here. He was 16 seconds behind, now he's 19 behind. Now he's catching up. We're back on the way. Sorry. Unfortunate stuff for Thatch over there. So Apex is now up into the lead. Still, and there is a clusterfuck of cars over here. What are you guys all doing? What is happening here? This is bad. It's Savetti holding up an incredible train of everyone. And Fontano not having the best start, and he has to pay attention that he doesn't lose his wing here in the melee. Because he was second, so he dropped back by Savetti and Slebby, and I'm not even really sure, maybe because of left cars. Noob has spun, and Ted still has a penalty. He still has his drive-through, this was just a wing change. Oh man. He can maybe still score points, but he was in the running for a really good result. So we continue with Apex, having 9/10 of an advantage over Sadetti, Slibby now in third, then Fontano, Maletsky, Zab and Reaper. And literally like 10, 11 cars will be in contention. Well, yeah, then I just hoping that the raid ends so far. So Apex is getting a little bit of a gap, maybe Slibby can do stuff. Maletsky already made 3 stops, but look at that by Savetti. Catch, to be honest, Tom would have had like plus 17 or something like that. And over here we have Maletsky close to Fontana. He was going for it, I think, at a certain point. Thatch is now in for his drive-through. Yeah, he needs another safety car now. He has new tires though. So, Savetti is holding on. This is just about not making really bad mistakes now. So we finish this lap. We have 14 laps to go. As Reaper just passes Zap in the middle sector. Impressive. Zap not having the best day. Because he just came to the front because of his strategy. But he doesn't look like he has the pace. And it's 3 wide into this corner. Of course with SJ who is ghosted for both. But Jublade past Sage, I think maybe thanks to SJ over there. Stunning stuff. So, let's go back to this road. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired to be honest, but not because of the race, just have to sleep more. Oh, Fontana is really under pressure by Maletsky, and I say that again, he is showing massive pace in the wet. Like he really set it, yeah, like he really picked a setup for this part of the race. And yeah, we all know Slimmy has to drop another position because he's in third, and that's of course not acceptable. It's also funny to see that, yeah, Apex is like literally, yeah, controlling this race, which is very hard to do with 3 safety cars so far. But Fontano, yeah, I think he's doing a little bit of damage control, is it? Maybe not the best circumstances for him. However, he's now back to pressuring Slibby for third. Because I said that Slibby should lose third. No, I'm kidding. Maybe he's now hearing my voice and thinking, well, I want that place, but yeah, it's close. It's Slibby not being able to pressurize Sabetti anymore. Danja is coming in for Inters, I would suggest. So that literally leaves only 10 drivers really in a big group for the 10 points positions if it just goes on like we predicted it to go on. But luckily, this is not as predictable as the Monaco Grand Prix. However, for Monaco Grand Prix this afternoon, it wasn't that bad. For a specific 7-8 laps. the pit stop window laps and the fact that there were amazing calls by Perez and Vettel. Like I said in the general chat. Especially Vettel. Not really, because especially Perez, because he jumped 3 cars. Vettel just overcut Hamilton basically, with the help of Gasly, but still he did it. Yeah, to be honest, I love the onboard radios when Lewis is kind of pissed that when his team is trying to do an undercut and they literally get overcut, and then he's pissed, and it was so funny to hear. Oh, it's a little bit Schumacher Barrichello over here, but Fontana is making the move on Slimmy. Wasn't that close to the wall. Maybe Slimmy can return the favor. He is on the inside. He is just gonna take this inside, no matter what. And no, Fontana has just enough to edge him out. And Malechki. No, he's not 88 although with slippery through this section. You can't see a tin. And Slimmy is staying close to Fontana here. Sliding through the chicane here. Maybe this can bring Reaper and a potential window to come closer. Oh, he's going off track. And he just gets away with it. Because Malechki was on the verge of doing something there. For a little bit of lag maybe. And I am right about Reaper, he's catching up here. Gap of more than 2 seconds, now back to 1.3. So, 11 laps to go. Apex, well, he's controlling this race. He doesn't have like the raw pace to drive away, but yeah, he's controlling it by staying at the front. This is the closest battle so far. Kevich is also close on Zap, but maybe he is finding his rhythm a little bit more there. And Malechki, oh. Well, the main point for him is to, stay on track. It's a fun last race for me, to be honest. Very interested to see how it is when, I see it back on. Oh, Reaper almost went for another move in the middle sector like he did before. And Sabetti is trying to get within the second of Apex. We love to see it, some action-packed racing. However, there was a section in the middle of the race, a part, where it was very tense and interesting for multiple positions. So, Slimmy has managed to get away from Malechki, and Malechki has managed to get away from Reaper, so that brings Zab back into the picture. He is also has to deal a little bit with Kabich, who's still behind him, and yeah. I think it's done for the action. The action is done. I believe so. So driver of the day is Sabetti. Yeah. Look at this. Danger made 4 stops. Slibby did it with only 1. He stopped for intermediate. But yeah, this can ruin the pot. This can really benefit Kavich, to be honest. Top 2 won't change about it, and even Fontana in 3rd won't. Yeah. Yeah, I had at some point 11 seconds. Oh no, 14 I had. Which is a disgrace, to be honest. So a little bit. Okay, let's go for the unorthodox way of battling. No kidding. It's just Nuve and Benja almost getting lapped, but still battling for P12. To be honest, Taj is in the middle of nowhere. 30 seconds in front of him, nobody, and 30 seconds behind him also, so. Well, to give this some attention. Oh, a Ferrari and a Williams are battling in the final sector of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Back in the days it was really... Oh, yeah, I think Danger has the better exit here. It was really hard to make a better exit there. He still has to nail it because Nuve has straight line speed. But he's pulling it off and goes into P12. But only a safety car can, like, yeah, help him. So, that was that. Let's go to Maletsky, who's going for assault number 2 on P4 by Slim. Oh no, you don't do this. Don't do this. P4 is the position of Slim. I know he has penalties, but still, don't do this. This means a lot for him. To be honest, we should include something in the Hall of Fame where people can like get a spot in the Hall of Fame when they finish on the same position the most. And I know that can also be I think 9 wins for Alupalu in 14 races, which he did in Tier 4 last season. But yeah, you never know. Slimmy has a shot. He already finished 4th 3 times, I think. Yeah. Anyway, he's backed off a little bit. It's more interesting now between Savetti and Fontana. Fontana eager to get that second place back to really... Yeah, he has to... yeah, I talked about damage control, maybe it's not really damage control, but he wants to stay as close as Apex as he can. Because it's now kind of exciting to keep on this. Since Fontana is still 2 points ahead of Apex, and Apex is now scoring 10 points more than him, so... Oh. This is not good, this connection, but Slimmy retained P4. And there's also a battle developing over P6, because Reaper really dropped off now, and is holding up Zap and Kabich. Especially Kabich is getting held up there. Fontana is really close to Savetti. But there is not really... Well, in the rain, of course, there are some different places where you can try to overtake, but still it's not... There are not many. Nuve and Denja on, especially Nuve is on the verge of getting lapped. Slibby is still close into this battle. Yeah, it looks a little bit like that Savetti is... Well, or Savetti's pace is dropping off a little, or the other ones have like reserved something for the final lap, and are now going for it. Because Slibby and Maletsky are catching up. There is the move of Kamich on Zap, and let's see if he successfully completed that. So far he is. I don't think Zap is gonna send it here on the inside, and he isn't. And an extra penalty from Maletsky is not really great. So we get in a four-way battle for P2 now. That's more what I like. At least Reaper has now discharged himself from Kamich and Zap for the moment being, but there are only 5 laps to go. I was just confused by Redaway and Racing Point, who are kind of close in Sector 2, but I think that's SJ, who is another lap down on Sage, who is just on this lap. Oh, yeah, getting out of the way. Fonter now, I think he is going for no. Yeah, a little bit late move. Half-hearted is, I think, the best use there. Maletsky was a little bit more patient into turn 1 because he hoped to have a look into turn 2 or 3, how the frick you call that. But positions remain the same. To be honest, this is also a little bit of a long race now. Normally we finish around this moment, but yeah, it's raining. To be honest, the fastest lap has been like, is for Kamich with kind of margin because nobody can set these lap times anymore. So he is safe, and those are the gaps you can see here on your screen. It's very wonderful. This game is an absolute amazing game. Anyway. Oh, it's going wrong for Maletsky. I saw that. That's horrible for him. Loss of concentration. I don't know what happened, but he is out in the running for a podium now. Especially with his penalties now. DRS is enabled. I think the FIA are on drugs. I really think. Well, that's some good stuff they use at the FIA. I want that too. Of course. Well, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy! Deja in for a treat! Oh, no, he's not really spinning. It's still too calm. It's just in the middle, and makes it that way, and Moose is also going for it. And Jubilate maybe also. It's not really that the sun is breaking through, but still, it's about. Oh, it's dry. Okay. I take back my words. Just drive through them, pal. Go for it, drive through them. Look at them go, ladies and gentlemen. Look at them go. That's the reason why Jubilee pitted. And what the? I can't swear on live TV, but holy shit! Apex has thrown away a victory over here. Like in very interesting conditions here in the final 3 laps. He's now getting passed by a lot of guys. Maybe he's even going in for a soft. Yeah, I would be the person to now continue on Inters. Yeah, he has overheated his tires. So these guys are mad quick, and Thatch has rejoined on Inter, so I think that was a mistake by him. He's now really out for points. And now Reaper, is he the first to come back on track on the soft? Because the soft runners are far away. Far away they are. Jublade went for it, but he's in the same position as where he was. And let's spun here. I think that's Sage. I saw a racing point at the front of the field spinning. It's going down, guys. It's going down. But these guys need to go on the intermediate, and especially now because Reaper is now in the prime seat. He did make the correct call for Apex. Are his tires going off? Is that just the issue that he also spun? Because Reaper is catching up with multiple seconds per corner. He's gonna crap Apex. And there is another spinner. I think that's a puncture for Sage. But let's watch Sage, who is now getting the exceeded track limit. Zap's even closing in on him. He is also much better in dry conditions. And Apex is again spinning. It's completely going through the bin for him. Unbelievable. At the front, it's going mid with Slimmy, who tried to pit maybe or whatever. He made contact. He lost his whole front wing. Of course, he decided now to come in. If Reaper is gonna score a podium out of this, mad job, because he potentially can now. This is incredible. There was also a pass by Kamic on Maletsky, and Reaper has 11 seconds to close in one final lap. And let's see how he's going to do it. It's completely over for Apex. He's not even gonna score points. Literally, guys who were lapped are having a chance of scoring points now. Slimmy went in, but I'm still not sure if that was his intention. And now Reaper is catching hand over fist here on the top 4. I think Fontenau is safe, but I know he has a penalty if he didn't. Oh man, I have won races like this, but I have also lost races like this. I can remember in Hockenheim that I was the leader until the arena section, and there like 3 guys passed me and I finished 4th after everyone pitted for dry tires and I stayed on Inters. 2 laps for the end. Reaper is gonna catch up. Reaper is gonna catch up. He's gonna pass them. Yeah, he's gonna barge himself through, and that's unfortunately his right to do. He is gonna barge his way through by Kamic. Fontenau has won the race. I don't even saw that. Sabetti is finishing 2nd. And Reaper, hats off for this. Hats off for this drive. This is exceptional. What we saw by him, and of course also by Zap, but this man drove to the podium by pitting from a mere P8 or P9 for dry tires 3 laps before the end and catched up more than 30 seconds to finish P3. And I know the game is gonna give the driver of the day award to Sabetti, but this is sensational stuff. Also Zap benefited. He even grabbed Maletsky, maybe also due to penalties. The rest of the guys was too far back, and there is the poor Apex who saw his win like going down the drain. Fontenau is the big winner in the championship battle, but wow. And the fastest lap, I said the fastest lap was for Kamitch. And to be funny, the 18.7 was that fastest lap, and Zap just, yeah, yeah, grabbed it from him. Incredible. Fontana, Sabetti, Reaper, Kamitch, Zap, Maletsky, Slimmy, Jublade, Apex, and then they scored a point after driving on every potential tire set you could do with 5 pit stops. Wow, okay, I couldn't have wished a better last race for me for this season. Wow. Wow. Okay, yeah, that was it for the stream. Thank you guys for being there with all the races that I've commentated so far. Probably I will return because I like to do this, not too often, but I like to do this now and then. But probably you will hear me in, I guess, yeah, 6 weeks, 8 weeks before I will be back at a stream. So, yeah, good luck to all the drivers. Great race, and next week you will hear Alu Palu at Austria.